Hey, Jason.
Hey, what's up, Nick?
Not a whole lot. Welcome to Coffee with Carl. We're happy to have you.
Well, thanks for inviting me in.
You're very welcome. I know that it's a lot to ask, busy schedule, and you got to fly all the way down here. So
I know.
appreciate you making an appearance. Hopefully the hotel we put you up in is treating you well.
Yeah, it's nice.
Very good.
Yeah.
That's all you could ask
It's
for.
got a fireplace.
Hey, I love a good wood fire, right?
Right.
So I wanted to ask you, you work in finance, F&I manager.
Yep.
How the state of the industry is going, some patterns, some trends, anything you can shed some light on in that.
Yeah. So I think the biggest influx that we're seeing right now is people, purchasing like prepaid maintenances because of labor rates going up. It locks in their labor rates. And honestly, with companies out there, they're paying for more than what what the customer would. It saves them anywhere from about $1,000 to $2,000, depending on the unit, out of their pocket, as long as they maintenance it correctly. And the biggest part of that, I think, is because of all these units having more electrical and more things on them that people don't know how to work on or don't want to deal with.
The bikes are just harder to work on in general. That makes the repair costs go up, coupled with inflation. You're just saying that this locks you into a specific price and the rest is covered after that.
Absolutely. And it also keeps you under manufacturer warranty too. So in case anything goes wrong, you have a tech looking at it, and know that it's been properly looked at, and your safety guides are there too on top of that.
And a lot of times in our business, people pay for these vehicles cash. Sometimes they finance them. I'm not going to pretend like I don't know when you can and can't get it, but are you noticing more people getting them with finance deals, more people getting them with cash deals? Is there any patterns there?
Generally more with finance right now, but we do have a good amount of people with cash actually buying them too. We had a guy just the other day with Goldwing came and bought his second package to cover it for another 3 years. So, it's just something he doesn't want to do and doesn't want to have to work on. Plus, again, it saved him from each single trip, technically about $200 per trip.
So without knowing the price of a service, what you're saying is if you were to line up the next 5 to 10 services and pay cash for those, and then line up the next 5 to 10 services and use this priority maintenance for those, to the customer, you're spending less dollars on the priority maintenance.
Exactly.
Okay. That makes sense. And I can't imagine a world where people, even cash buyers who don't tend to have a big money issue, wouldn't want to take advantage of that. I mean, savings is savings no matter where you're getting it, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Nobody usually likes stepping over a couple bucks here and there.
Yeah. What other things are you having success with, or what other trends are being purchased on the regular these days?
Really like the accidental wheel and tire for on-road and off-road, actually.
We do live in the city.
Yeah.
Lots of needles and tweakers and potholes. I get it.
Nails and screws and whatever. Hit it. Get pushed off the road. You never know.
Sure.
So cracker bend a wheel, that's covered for you. So, and then also lifetime battery. It's great.
That is good. A motorcycle battery is literally the size of a cell phone. They go dead in half an hour if you actually leave the key on, or a couple of days if you take really good care of it. They'll go dead. So the battery's been pretty successful. I understand that. It's something that we've always seen. Hey, my battery died. This, that, or the other.
Yep.
That's very good. Is there a pattern right now? I know we kind of touched on it. People paying cash versus financing. Any patterns? Is there a dollar amount that kind of separates the?
I think so.
Divide?
And it just depends on, where we're at. I've seen a bigger influx in some cash on some lower end units, between like that $3,000 to $5,000 range, which, if you're smart with your money at today's interest rates which they're not bad, but they're not fantastic yet, which hopefully here in the next 6 months, we'll see a decrease. But, people have saved their money and paying for that. Anything over that, we're seeing about a 50-50, divide between it. And on bigger units, unless you're a rich guy, you're usually financing.
Sure.
So,
and I see it everywhere, right? Like every TV commercial that I see, Chevy, Dodge, Honda, everybody's got a promo rate out right now.
Yep.
And in my head, that leads me to believe that they're driving traffic with these TV commercials, or they're incentivizing somebody to take advantage of a promotional interest rate. What do you think causes manufacturers to want to introduce a promotional rate?
Well, because a lot of these manufacturers hold their own financing, right? They own the bank. So smaller interest rate compared to losing it to a traditional bank. They're holding their own financing. They're grabbing that interest rate, right? Like everybody knows you're going to pay interest no matter what. But why not pay it on the smallest money available, which the manufacturers give you?
And is
So
that limited to the big banks, the big manufacturers, or do credit unions ever have promos? Is it primarily just big banks?
no, credit unions have dropped. I haven't seen a promo in quite a while, but they do have some pretty good rates, competitive rates. But when somebody manufacturer comes out with 2 or 3.9, and my best rate at a bank is 5.9, you know, or some manufacturers are even holding 0% again, just because they're
Zero
wanting that.
percent. That's
Yeah, I know, isn't that
amazing.
free money? Like
Free
who doesn't want to
money.
take advantage of that?
Sign me up.
Yeah, but the credit unions are usually pretty aggressive, but manufacturers right now, I think they're seeing an influx in sales, so that usually always drops their rates because they want the business.
So if I'm understanding this right, you're basically saying that the manufacturers have their own money. They're lending their own money, knowing that they're going to get this back, and because they have so much of it, lightly said, they can afford to have these promotional financing rates and things like that.
Exactly, which I think helps drive sales too. Because
Yeah.
people are more comfortable buying at a smaller interest rate and spending less money on something that they want.
Yep. Hey, I'm right there with it. I buy stuff every single day, and
Exactly.
I want
Yeah.
to borrow cheap money. You had alluded towards smaller purchases tend to gravitate towards those cash transactions.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put a $10,000 number on it. What would you say the ratio is of over $10,000 purchases are finance versus cash?
Financed usually about 60%,
Okay,
cash about 40%.
so 6 and 10 over
Mm-hmm.
$10,000 will come in and put a finance package together.
Yep.
And with that, is there anything that you could attribute that to? Is it that 10 grand is a hard amount of money to cut loose with? Most people don't have it, can't spare it. Or is it this promotional interest financing?
I think it's a combination of all. I mean, people that do have it, we see don't have a problem spending it, but a lot of people don't have 10 grand spending in the bank, and they want something fun to go do. And in this industry, as some of these bikes are made for commuting, so some of these are supplementing a truck payment instead of with a motorcycle, and $10 in gas a week instead of 150.
That's not wrong.
Yeah,
Motorcycles are very fuel efficient.
yeah,
Um, that's really interesting. There was a point in time where even the small dollar stuff people were financing, and I would imagine a lot of that has to be due to the interest rates. They're going up. It's more expensive to borrow money,
yep.
where people almost feel forced to finance if it's over 10 grand based on what you're saying, just due to the fact that most people don't have 10 grand sitting in the bank or more. But the smaller bore stuff, that's interesting that people are still willing to cut loose with cash, even though interest rates are falling. What do you think a smaller, so let's focus on under 10 grand.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think that same ratio would be?
I would have to say, more cash is close to about 70% right now, which
Wow.
is funny because you think about it on the smaller stuff, your loan life is shorter, right? So
Right.
you're really not spending that much more money even if you do finance it.
The smaller amount financed, the smaller the loan term
Yeah,
gets.
so the less interest that you pay. So
And I get all of that. So, in my opinion, it would make more sense to take advantage of a finance deal on the small dollar. That's interesting.
absolutely,
The way of the world in 2025.
I know, isn't it?
Well, last thing before we wrap up here, we have an entourage of goodies and protection.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe in them?
Oh, absolutely.
Would you purchase one?
I already have.
Very
So in
good.
fact, I bought one with my dirt bike.
What did you get?
Honda 19 250F.
Okay. And what
CRF.
protection did you sign up for?
I got the Honda Care warranty, so if any of my electrical, my fuel injection system goes out, my motor blows up internally, it's all covered by Honda.
That's amazing, man, because I get a lot of pushback in the industry. People, they think, oh, this sleazy sales guy is just trying to push something on me. But it's different, right? Especially if you believe in it and it's real coverage, and especially if it's provided by the manufacturer. Even not anymore today, the third party protection is just about as good or better than some of the manufacturer protection.
Exactly.
And is there anything else that you believe in? Are you a purchaser of any of these other products in your personal life?
Actually, yeah, like I just bought a truck. I got the prepaid maintenance, gap insurance, because I was over what the truck is worth by probably a few bucks.
Yes.
So just in case anything happens, and the maintenance is great. I mean, it really saved me a ton of money, and as you know, a truck is usually about $200 per oil change, 150 to 200 per oil change. This makes mine $54.
Each time?
Yeah.
Very
For
good.
9 services.
9 services for $54.
Yeah, so that saved me $900 out of my
Yes, it
pocket.
did. My fast math isn't that fast, but I'll
Yeah,
take your word for it. 900 smells good anyways.
yeah.
Did you have an opportunity to chat with your finance guy when you purchased a vehicle to see if he felt the same way? Does he believe in these products, or does he sell them to put money in his own account? Did you get any insight on that?
I did actually. He does sell quite a few prepaid maintenances, a lot of extended warranties because of all of the new electronics on these vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest thing. That it's not necessarily the motor and transmission; it's all the other little things that the manufacturers don't actually make that they subside out, kind of like us. That gets very expensive. Your head unit can be 15 to 2 grand,
That
1,500 to two
really
grand.
is the biggest thing. You said it best. It's the electronics. We all buy this stuff in 2025, cars, bikes. They're super fancy, right? And they have all
Yep,
these features and they make the creature comforts just awesome.
amazing. Yeah,
But that also comes with an inherent risk. If any of these
yep,
features start to fail or anything like that, it can be incredibly costly. And we know that with today's technology, the thing that's going to fail will likely be the electronics. It's not going to be the hard parts. They've been
yep,
making motors and transmissions for
sure.
100 years
Yep,
or whatever.
exactly.
But electronics and Apple CarPlay, like this is all relatively new technology. And I know I'm not alone when I am a little weary on the longevity of some of these components, and the peace of mind is almost heavier than anything else. Like if it
Absolutely.
fails, bring it back. They're going to take good care of you. They might even put you in a loaner. Certainly in the automobile industry, that's kind of the way that it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's all good stuff. I appreciate your time. Thank you for joining me
Yep,
on an episode of Coffee with
it was
Carl.
great.
And we'll get back to it. We're going to flood the world with protection.
Sounds great.
Awesome. Thank you,
Thanks.
Jason.